And welcome back to this week's edition of the Steele Report. My guests here are well known in the community. Josh Wilson on the end there. He's going to be the MC for the Black Hawk County Relay for Life coming up next Friday. And Candy Nardini, you have been involved in the Relay for Life for as long as I can remember as an organizer and board member and whatever you want to call it. But we do a great job. I really appreciate all you do. So we're here to talk about it because it is coming up next Friday night.
That's right. And this year our theme is Carnival for a Cure. And it'll be from 4 to 10 p.m. at Peet Junior High School in Cedar Falls. And we just invite the community to come out. And what we like to do is just honor and remember our survivors and also those who have passed away because of this disease.
The luminaries are always a really moving portion, I think, of the, I remember it was out at Hawkeye Community College.
Yes.
I remember Dave Welter was on with you last year.
Yes.
In fact, Dave, of course, has an incredible survivor story himself. Both of you have individual stories about cancer. Josh, tell us a little bit about your mom, what happened there. Yeah.
Sure. Unfortunately, I lost my mom in 2008 to breast cancer. She was only 40 years old, so it was very tough. I'm an only child. I was 19. I had to grow up very quickly. I was raised by a single mom. She did a tremendous job with me, I think so, for what she was given. And so, you know, we have been involved in this since my mom was actually diagnosed in 2002. It was really near and dear to her heart. And so my grandfather and my family and I continue to be involved every year in her memory.
In fact, you have a West High School softball scholarship that you award every year, and I think that's coming up pretty soon, isn't it?
That's right. On June 11th, we'll be awarding, we've given out almost a dozen scholarships now in my mom's name at West High School. She was a standout softball player for West High. My grandfather and uncles coached for many years at West, so a place near and dear to our heart. So it's another way we give back in the community.
That's fantastic. Candy, tell a little bit about your story. How did you get involved in this?
Yes, I got
It's a personal
involved.
reason, right? Yeah.
Well, in 1991, I was asked to join a team, and I did that, and I got hooked. It was like, okay, I believe in their mission, and I want to be a part of this. And then in 1997, my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer, and she was diagnosed the first part of May and passed away in June of that year, so very quickly. And so it just made me more involved and want to dig a little deeper and be involved with this.
So with big organizations like the American Heart Association, I've done that for a number of years. You have the American Cancer Society. People always want to know, these are large organizations, how much of my money stays local? So why don't you explain that?
Yeah.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So the American Cancer Society invests a lot right here, even in Iowa. So all of the donations that we'll raise at the relay on Friday will go to the American Cancer Society. They use that for patient support. A good example of that is the Hope Lodge in Iowa City, where cancer patients and their caregivers can stay free of charge, where they're receiving outpatient support. Of course, also, we do a lot of research. There's a lot of research as we search for a cure. In fact, there's about $400 million right now invested in 600 grants across the country, a dozen of which are right here in Iowa at places like the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. So the money really does have an impact here locally. It also, the American Cancer Society's advocate affiliate, the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, provides advocacy. Obviously, the fight against cancer is going to need help from our lawmakers at both the state and federal level. So the funding also goes to that in some capacities as well. Here in Iowa, we just had a really exciting breakthrough this legislative session. Governor Reynolds signed the Iowa biomarkers legislation, which will now make biomarker testing available by most insurances for Iowans who are undergoing cancer treatment. So there are a lot of Iowa examples that the funding goes to from this relay.
It affects so many people. You know somebody who's been impacted directly. You mentioned the Hope Lodge. So last year, Candy, you and your husband Jay delivered a whole bunch of goodies down there. Is that something you've done every year? Or?
Yes. Yeah. This will be our 16th year in October that we do that. We get a wish list from the Hope Lodge, and then we just go to the area Hy-Vee stores, collect donations, and then take it down the last Monday in October.
So everything's happening Friday night, June 14th, out at Peet Junior High School.
Right.
Candy, why don't you just run down what's going to happen that evening? And everybody's invited. We should point that out.
Yes, everybody in the community is invited to this. And we especially want to invite our cancer survivors and caregivers for a free dinner at the school, and it's from 4 to 7. It's a open house format. You come and stay as long as you like and then can leave. This is graciously underwritten by Mercy One, so we so appreciate their sponsorship. And then we'd love to get the youth involved with our relay. And so to kick off our event, we do have the junior ROTC from East High presenting colors. And then at about 5:40, we have the Union Missionary Baptist drill team. And if you've ever seen these kids, the energy that they bring to our event is phenomenal. So don't miss that. And we also, this year, first time ever, we are having a helicopter land at the school. This is the University of Iowa Air Care helicopter, and it will land behind Pete Junior High and between Pete and University Avenue. And that'll be at 5 o'clock. So families can then talk to the crew and see the logistics of the helicopter. So that'll be fun.
I remember in some years past, this was an all-night event. Is it still that way? Or?
No.
Because I remember coming out after work one night and running, I think it was out at Central.
It was
even
at Central, yes, and you would run out there. Yes, we went 24 hours, then we kind of went down to 18 to 12, and now we're at 6 hours. So
you cram it all in on a
we
Friday
kind of
night.
do, yes.
In fact, you mentioned the Union Missionary Baptist. I just happen to have, let's take a quick video of them just for a few seconds. The Union Missionary Baptist Crusaders, they bring a lot of excitement. And like you say, if you haven't had a chance to see them perform, it's really spectacular. They're really one of the best in the Midwest.
They are amazing. When you see them in parades or other events across the county, yes, they bring the excitement.
Let me show you the webpage here as far as the fundraising goes right now, because now this has probably changed in the couple of days since we actually taped this interview. But right now, Judy Thorson is leading the individual fundraising efforts. And Josh, I noticed you're doing pretty well too. So congratulations on that. Hope you do even better. Then I have Team Frog leading the team fundraising along with Smiling Kate's. And again, these are the preliminary numbers, so this could easily change. And this is really becoming a competition among the individual fundraisers and the team fundraisers. So we hope that everybody does their best on that. And that's really the important part. This was all about, it's a fundraiser, isn't it?
It's a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, yes. And
the best part of that for me is the Luminaria ceremony, and the people in the community can get directly involved with that. So for $10 on our website, you can buy one of those bags that will be illuminated on our evening of our relay, and that's either in memory or in honor of someone who is fighting cancer. Really excited. Your co-anchor Elizabeth is joining us this year, along with Cedar Falls Mayor Danny Loddick, to read the names of those community members who are battling and who have lost the battle to cancer. So real special moment out there.
I was going to say, that's really special. And you say it's only $10 to buy one because it's such a, you know this, is such a personal thing, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
And each one of those bags line the track, and each bag represents a person who's heard the words, you have cancer. Yes.
What was that like when you were told about your mother even, for example?
It was very emotional, and you know, watching what my mom went through and what Candy's family's gone through, and so many others that of my friends and family. You know, that's why I do this, is to make sure that people don't have to hear those words. Unfortunately, in Iowa in 2024, 21,000 people will be diagnosed with cancer. That's half the city of Cedar Falls. So we still have a lot of work to do, but organizations like the American Cancer Society are making real positive steps in the right direction.
And Candy, one thing we didn't talk about, there's a silent auction event this year too, right?
We have a great silent auction, and I've seen some of the baskets or the products. They're phenomenal, and you want to check that out. That's going to be in the classrooms at Pete Junior High, so go inside the building, check those out. Some of the teams even have raffles at their tables, so we will do that. Everything that's raised, of course, goes to the American Cancer Society, so check those out.
And Josh, this is a new role for you, being the MC for the event this year. So how do you feel about that? You're probably pretty excited. You'd like to talk, right?
I do like to talk. Initially, I thought everyone else must be out of town, but no, it's great. It's really fun. The DJ out there is a fantastic husband and wife duo that really keep everyone engaged, and it's really a moving experience. So it's an honor for me to do it, and hopefully they'll let me come back and do it next year too.
Yes.
And one thing we really should point out right now, if you want to take part in this as an individual or form a team, there's still plenty of time to do that.
There is. Yeah. Visit our website at relayforlife.org/Blackhawk County IA, and you can form a team, You can volunteer or you can sponsor our event. And we just hope to see all of you at our event on Friday, June 14th, 4 to 10 p.m. at Peete Junior High School in Cedar Falls.
The annual Black Hawk County Relay for Life coming up. We really appreciate all the years of your dedication, Candy and Josh. Great to see you again, and hope you have a good time as the MC this year as well. Hope you have a great turnout as well on Friday night out at Peete Junior High School. We'll be back to wrap things up on this week's edition of the Steele Report in just a moment.
Keep going out to your right.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of the Steele Report. Now, in just a couple of weeks, I'll bring you a longer version of that recent Eastern Iowa honor flight, which we featured on the news earlier this week. 88 Iowa veterans took part in that recent trip, as KWWL was invited to be the media sponsor for the 51st flight. A reminder also, there will be the Cedar Valley Honor Flight coming up this Tuesday, so be sure to get out to the Waterloo Regional Airport and welcome home our local veterans on Tuesday evening. As always, thanks for watching. I'll have a special segment next week for Father's Day weekend.